Hello, Flosstube. My name is Renee, and I'm with the Golden Familiars, and this is my Flosstube number 2. I did not scare myself off by doing another one too much, but I have learned a lot since the first one, and excited about playing with those changes and continuing to learn. So if you're back, thank you. If you're new to this, this is a channel about cross stitch and all things that we love as cross stitchers and crafters. So I hope you stick around. I've learned how to edit a little bit, but I still kind of want to just keep things going. If I make a funny mistake, hope to not stop it, because then I'll just continue to stop and start and stop and start. And we all know how that goes. It'll never get done. I just want to address the elephant in the room, and it's mainly for me. It's the glare of my glasses and the lights, no matter how I set them. That's just my OCD, and I can't stand it. So if you see me trying to adjust my head, like, that's what's going on. So maybe it won't bother anybody else, but it absolutely drives me insane. So welcome back. Hello. It's Memorial Day, by the way. It's a holiday here in the US. And I just got back from a retreat over the weekend, so I'm kind of still flying off of like that high and getting back, and I haven't unpacked anything yet, and thought, or unpack as like luggage and like moving things back into the sewing room, because I also vended. So I thought, well, before things get chaotic, maybe I'll do my second floss tube, and it seemed like the thing to do. So welcome. So I've got my cheat sheet up here again that I will refer to, just so I kind of stay on task. And yeah, I've welcomed you. And also I am going to try to record this time in landscape, because apparently that helps as opposed to portrait like my first video. But yeah, so what I want to talk about today is more of my cross stitching. If you watched my first video, it was mainly about some of my products and showcasing how my stitching cases look like, what they look like, and how you can use them, and the different sizes and styles and options. So if you are interested in that, go watch my very first video. But now I wanted to do like a real floss tube. I'm a real floss tuber. So what I wanted to talk about is I have an FFO, and talking about my starts, a little bit about the retreat, and just kind of like your average very first official floss tube, where it's not like promoting my business, but so yes, I want to talk about the retreat first, and then I think that'll segue into what I'm going into. I was in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the Stitching Bee retreat. They held the retreat at the Tulsa Marriott Southern Hills Hotel. And oh my gosh, it was a lot of fun. It was a smaller retreat, maybe about 50 people there, which is, it was a great size, and they had a great turnout, and it was just wonderful. And the Stitching Bee retreat, they are out of Texas, and so they came up here to Oklahoma for the first time to do a retreat here. And it being Memorial Day weekend, which, you know, Oklahomans really, you know, go out of town and go to the lake and spend their holidays that way. But 50 people for a holiday weekend in Tulsa, I feel like that was a really good turnout. So they came up here, and that was the first time they did one of their retreats here. I did get some stitching time in, but I mainly went up there to be a vendor, to sell things. And if I get a chance, and as practice for editing videos, maybe I will insert a short little video that I took of the different vendors that were there. There were just a handful of us there, but maybe I'll do that. We'll see. Also, I haven't even been back 24 hours, and the familiars are very excited to have me home. So you're probably going to see a lot of Salem today. Maestro is sleeping. I board him when I'm gone, and so he is catching up with his sleep. So fair warning that the cat is parkouring off of the furniture today. And needless to say, he's very excited that Mama is home. So this is Salem. He is my big furry black kitty. And I don't want him to sit on my fabric. Do you want to say hi? No? Are you excited that Mama's home? Yes. So fair warning, he is very, very hyper. Okay. So the retreat, it was great. I vended and I got to meet even some more Oklahoma stitchers, people that I follow on Flosstube or, see them on social media. So I wanted to specifically shout them out. Jacinta, and she is, I'm looking at my notes over here, she is crafting on the plains here on YouTube. And I had just started to watch her videos, and then she had mentioned in one that she was going to be at the retreat. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be there. And then there's Brianna and Ashlyn, and I'll look up their handles in a bit, or I'll definitely place them down in the description. But they're in our Oklahoma cross stitch group on Facebook. But I'll put everybody's information down in the description now that I know how and that I should do that. But it was very exciting meeting them, and they came in from Shawnee and Fairview to Tulsa. But there were a lot of women that came up to Texas to come to the retreats, but lots of faces that I recognized from other retreats, and then a lot of brand new faces, quite a lot of people, it was their first time at a retreat. So it was very exciting, but a very successful weekend. And of course I bought some stuff. I mean, how can you not? So I'll show that in my haul, and I got some Stitchy kindness. So I'll definitely make sure to feature those. I don't want to say so much. I gotta watch that. The organizers and the workers for the Stitching Bee are amazing women. I just want to shout them out real quick. Deborah and Mary, Kay, Amanda and Robbie were helping. They're just amazing. And this is really technically their second retreat ever. And they're doing fantastic. The first one they did was in Dallas last October, and it was highly attended and very successful. And so this year they have branched out, and they're doing 3 retreats within Oklahoma and Texas. And so I'll talk about those later as well. But they put on a great retreat for them being newbies, and I congratulate them and thank them for letting me participate. Okay. Thank you guys for following me. I really appreciate it. It's just fun to watch people sit there and subscribe to you and comment on your videos. So I thank you for following me. If you haven't yet, please hit subscribe or like. And with each one of these I make, I think they're going to get a little bit easier, and I'll find the flow of them a little bit more. But having my cheat sheet over here I'm looking at is helping me. So before I get into my WIPs and stuff, I wanted to shout out, because I didn't last time, I didn't have them all written out, but I wanted to mention the Flosstubers who I have watched for quite some time or have just discovered, because that's what we do. And you support your other stitchers. And like I said, some of them I've been watching for months. Some of them are fairly new because I'm getting those recommendations from you guys. But I want to shout out my Oklahoma. I'm from Oklahoma. My Oklahomies, my Oklahoma stitchers, Allison and Stephanie from Cross Stitch the Globe, who live literally like within 5 to 10 miles of where I live. When we discovered that, we were like, that's hysterical. Jacinta, who I mentioned earlier, is crafting on the plains at Flosstube. Hannah is the Okie Stitcher. Faith Slagle is stitching at the barn on Flosstube. These are all their Flosstube, possibly their Instagram, but definitely Flosstube handles. Gemini's is Stitchin' Jen, and stitching does not have the G, and Gem is with the J. Holly Jones, and she is Mrs. Jones Stitches. And Kristen, the Wildflower Stitcher. These are Raise Up Your Home State Stitchers, the ones that I definitely watch. And if you are an Oklahoma Stitcher, I didn't mention you, let me know, because I want to start watching you. These other Stitchers are, a lot of them are like my aesthetic Stitchers. Like I love Halloween, I love Witchy, Stitchy, all of that kind of magic-y fun. So not everybody is, but the majority of them are. But I'm just going to go down the list here, and I've really enjoyed watching your videos over time. And if you're new to me, like, I'm still loving it. This is Catherine the Absent-Minded Stitcher, Bex Ben, Wild a Woman Crafts, that's her name is Tara, Andrea's Cautionary Tales, Crafting Gaming Jamie, say that 5 times fast. The Thread Gremlins, you guys are hysterical. The Crow Stitcher, Cam the Stitcher, Lunar Witch Stitchery, Britches Get Stitches. Let's see, Sarah, who is the Redneck Bifocal Stitcher. I got to meet her last year at a retreat. Love Sarah. Let's see, who is that? Black Needle Society, Miss Laura and Katie. Sarah's Stitchy Spot. You're so much fun to watch. I love your, you're so calm and relaxing, and I really enjoy your stitching. And Wicked Cat Stitch. Love your stuff. And of course, one day I really want to go to StitchCon, and I watch Pam and Steph with Just Keep Stitching every week. It cracks me up. So that's just a handful of people that I watch, and I really appreciate your videos, and you definitely inspire me to be a better stitcher, and you enable me to spend money to buy patterns, and yeah. So thank you for having some great floss tubes. Okay, so to get into stuff, coming off of the retreat, I have an FFO I want to share, and shout out to Kaylee Cross Stitch. She was featured in someone's video at Stitch North. She is really known for her tiny, the cat's right here, really known for her tiny stitching. And I love anything tiny, stitching or not, like itty bitty. But she was doing a tiny stitching giveaway where she'll send you like this little kit, just like a piece of fabric, small count fabric, and a beading needle, and the kind of thread that you need with it, and a little pattern you can download. And so anyway, I got that recently, and I took it to the retreat, pardon me, and I was like, you know, I think I want to stitch something other than like the pattern. And I had a crazy idea, and I went into it not even thinking it was going to work. I was like, I'm just going to tell myself that now. Hold on, I'm going to try to open this. It's going to crinkle, so sorry if you have headphones on. Anyway, me. I had a crazy idea. I was like, I'm going to try to stitch my website's barcode. If you haven't been to my website, or know, I sell, make and sell cross-stitching storage accessories and cases, and you can go check that out. But my website is thegoldenfamiliars.com. So anyway, I was like, I think I'm going to stitch my QR code to the website. I'm just going to tell myself it's not going to work, and that's okay. It's practice for tiny stitching. And so I started it over the weekend, and I did it, and the code works. I was so excited. I was like, kind of going over to some of the organizers. I was like, oh my God, my code worked. So, and Salem wants to smell it. So anyway, and then a dear friend who, stitching friend that I met last year, and who has just been amazing. person, she didn't want to be named, she finished it for me on a keychain. But this is my website's QR code. Let's see if it's so little. Is it going to focus? This is on 46 count. 46 count. And it's stitched with silk I had never used before. And I'm going to pronounce it really badly real quick. Over something surfine. I'll put a link to it below because I ordered some because I want to do more because now I'm addicted to tiny stitching. But isn't that so cute? So if somebody wants my website, I can just go here. Boop. Or do you have a card? Here. It's so cute. So there's my FFO. I started that the weekend, and I'm looking forward to doing more tiny stitching. So I thank you, Kaylee, for enabling, or what's the word I'm looking for? Encouraging people to tiny stitch. Go follow her at Instagram. It's Kaylee Cross Stitch. And this was a 46 count, but she can also, and she does this out of the kindness of her heart to send these things. You can also, she has a Patreon, or I think it's a Patreon that I sent to, where you can donate some money because it all comes out of her pocket to send those things. But on her Instagram page, there's a link in her bio that you can sign up for that. But she can send 46 count, 56 count, and 64 count quilter's cloth. And her latest Flosstube, you can see all those examples, and they are insane. They're amazing. So definitely go check out her stuff. It was amazing. Okay, so that was my FFO. And I did have a start, but I'm going to show you later because it was in my haul. It was something I got in my haul. So I'm going to start with my current WIPs and what I'm working on. And since this is the first time I'm doing this, I don't have before pictures to show you. And hopefully next time in the future, I'll give you what it looked like before I started on it. So I gotta move the cat. Oh, you gonna say bye before I put you down? Okay, bye. Okay, so this comes the part where I'm gonna insert a photo, I don't know, maybe over here, of the things that I'm working on, because I work off of PDFs. Even if I get a hard copy, I'm still going to copy it so I can highlight, because I'm one of those. I'm paper and highlighter. So I'll insert a picture, but this is started on Death by Cross Stitch by Long Dog Samplers. And I've got my notes here. Just admire Salem. I'm not going to try to fight with him too much. This is on 36 count. It's called Christmas in Williamsburg from Under the Sea Stitching. And I think I have found a way to display these. So 36 count, 1/1. Some of it is tent stitch. I started kind of doing both because, I don't know, I can't quite make up my mind of what I want to do. Some of the half stitches look okay, some of them don't. So I kind of have put it to the side. And I'm working with, this is the size of it. When I'm done, it'll be a little over 10 by 12 inches. So it's a big piece. And these are, and I'm working on, I will show you some of my cases because I use them. This is my U David Schitt's Creek case. This is what I keep Death by Cross Stitch in. This is a Salem case that I make. Check out on the website. The last time that I did this, I was showing the floss I'm using really badly. I've since done some research. So I'm going to try to do this a little bit better. And since doing the tiny cross stitch, doing the 1/1, I'm like, maybe that's the kind of floss I need to get for something like this. So that's why I've kind of put it away for a while. I haven't found the rhythm with it yet, but I do love, like, I love this variegation, this thread I'm getting ready to show you. I do love it. So this variegated thread came in a limited subscription box from Starlight Stitchery. It was their Sleepy Hollow box, and it was limited. It was the only one you could get, and I think it came out in 2021. And I got one of those, and it came with this floss. Where did please pause. Well, I thought I had a white, what can I show it against? Can I show it against this? Man, I thought I was all set up and ready. I'll show this in a second, but this is, well, I'll show it here first. Let's see if this works. This is variegated. It's called Sleepy Hollow, and it has like dark teals and turquoise and browns, and it's just gorgeous. Let's see if I can show it against this. Thank you, Salem. And you only got one skein of it. And when I started this, I was like, oh, I'm gonna need more of that. I wonder if I can even find any. So I put a SOS out on some Facebook groups about, you know, did anybody else get that box? Or if you did you end up using your skein of this? Because I would love to buy it from you if you didn't. I had also emailed Forbidden, because the floss is from Forbidden Fiber Company. I had already emailed them, and I had not heard back from them yet. But 2 people reached out to me and said, so graciously, they were like, I'll just send it to you. You don't have to pay. I mean, how nice is that? Awesome. Thank you. And then Forbidden Fiber got back to me, and they only had two of them left. And so I bought those. So when I get back to this, I'll have plenty of this stuff to work with, because I bought two people sent, and I still have a little bit of mine left. So that is the variegated I'm working on. And then the other variegated, it's slightly variegated, but it's like almost not. But this is pea coat. And I can't, is this Weeks? Yeah, this is Weeks, and it's pea coat. Kind of see, I've got another little light on top of my phone. So those are what I'm working with for Long Dog. So one more time, so I can remind myself to take a photo later. This is where I am. Salem, that thank you. I know, I missed you so much too. Bye-bye. Okay. Make sure I did all of that. But I was so proud of myself. Like, I got up early, like doing all my notes for this. I ironed everything, and I can't guarantee that that's going to happen all the time, because I typically leave them in their Q snaps. And I use Q snaps 99% of the time. 99% of the time. You want to see how I've blown up my Long Dog pattern. And this isn't even the whole thing. This is like a 1/10 of what this pattern is blown up. It's huge. It's huge. So that's what I've done. So yeah, I make things hard on myself. Oh well, what are you gonna do? So, well, I'll have inserted the picture so you can see it. Okay. Yay, first WIP. All right. I'm also, I have put some felt on a piece of cardstock so like it can hopefully like stick to it, and we're gonna see if that stays that way. All right, the next one I'm doing, I've got my little cheat sheet down here, is one that I've been just lusting after for years and years and years, and I got it before Heaven and Earth Designs retired the artist, so I'm very excited about that. So this is, and I'll put a picture here, Omar Rayon's, and it's the mini version, Mini Contessa with Squid. Mini Contessa with Squid. I love it. She's weird. I've seen it for several years and finally just bit the bullet and was like, let's do this. So I am doing this, pardon me, on 32 count gridded. It's my first time doing anything on gridded fabric and I love it. I'm starting to make some really like stupid bad counting mistakes at the beginning of the year on, non-gridded, and was like, okay, definitely for this I'm going to do on gridded, because if I mess up, holy moly. Okay, so this is 32 count. I started it in the corner and was like, yeah, I don't want to do that. So then I started in the middle because I am a serial middle starter. Comfy, not comfy. Okay, so 32 count mini version. I'm using all the called for DMC, and I'm parking a project for the first time, and it's not overwhelming as much as I thought it would be. I don't mind it, believe it or not. So I've got some hanging threads. Bear with me, but this is what I have so far. Looks kind of dark right here, but you can see I kind of started in the corner. I was like, no, I gotta do something with color. So that's what I have so far. I started this around spring break, so like middle of March. And I have to be in the right kind of mood to work on it. I'm doing this isn't my first full coverage. I've done one other full, I pronounce this Jacques de Lanterne. It's something French. I'm not French. Terrible with French. But this was my first full coverage. But I didn't have a method to the madness, and the back of it, I'm sure, is terrible. But for this, I was like, oh my gosh, so many colors. So I started with thinking I wanted to do cross country, which, start at the top and go and use that thread. But I did not like that. So then I went to the middle, and I'm kind of doing it a little different anyway, but I started doing the royal rose, where you do like 2 of the blocks, you use a color and do 2 of the blocks, and then if it's down here, it's very confusing to explain, so I'm not going to try to do that. But there are lots of videos, Flosstubes, videos that you can go watch to learn the royal rose method. But that is Miss Contessa with Squid, and I love her. She's an odd one. And then I had to have a special case to put her in to work on, so I found this amazing squid and octopus fabric on Spoonflower and made her a special case, because this one calls for 89 different colors. So I've got all of these, and then I made a double-sided bobbin insert. that I keep in there. And just because I do make these things and they're on the website, I made it an octopus zipper pull and scissor fob. It's in there somewhere that matches. Something else that I made, or something else that I tried, this being my first like official crazy full coverage. You know those big, they're called, I think, bobbins. If you see people working on them in full coverage, they're like these kind of big round plastic circular things you can wound your floss in that you're not using. And I bought some of those and I loved the concept of it. Like when you wind all the floss and then you pop it closed and it keeps the threads really secure in there, but they're not secure to the fabric. Like they kind of flop around, and I just didn't like that. And I thought, well, then I'll just put like a make it like a giant needle minder. But when you pop the bobbin in to close it, it's not flat on the back. So I couldn't get a magnet on it. So this is like a little Renee contraption. I was like, I'm gonna take a regular bobbin, just a regular sewing bobbin, and I'm gonna put a magnet on it. Here, let me put it on this. Maybe this will help somebody. And then I put it on my project. Come on, magnet. Wants to run away from me. Thank you for bearing. So then, of course, it's going to be pulled taut. I take my threads, I roll them around until they're on. Oh my gosh, you can't see. It would really help if you could see that. I'm gonna roll them around, and there's a lot of them. And then the little bobbin covers you get for your sewing bobbin, I just clip it on. And so that way it stays on my thread. Because the bobbies, like your thread will be in there, but it just kind of like, if you turn it upside down or take it out of the Q-snap, they just like bob around and hit each other. And I just didn't like that. So, you know, there you go. There's a little idea for you. So yes, that is Mini Contessa with squid. I'll have a picture for next time so you can see her progress. I don't know, like percentage wise for patterns, or like, oh, I've got, you know, this percent of it left, because I don't do electronic stuff, but I hope y'all will forgive me because I don't have that. Okay. Next up, this was just a fun one because I love it, and it's not fully finished, but it's a finish, so it's not a WIP. Sorry. I honestly forgot I had it while I was like cleaning stuff up to get ready to go out of town this weekend. But this is modern folk embroidery. Got the morbs. And I did this on, I'll put a picture over here. I did this on 32 count Weichelt tumbleweed, named Tumbleweed, and used the called for Weeks color in Kohl, Kohl. And then I stole an idea from the Witchy Stitcher. She's got this tutorial on her website about how to make things look like they're like aged or like bleeding or whatever. So underneath the morbs, very carefully, with really watered down watercolor paint, you just kind of add it for the dripping effect. And I love that. She does that effect on a lot of her pieces. So I love that. Got the morbs. I saw that and was like, well, gotta start that immediately. I think I did this around Christmas. No, it's actually around Halloween last year. Okay, that was a bonus. That was a bonus. Okay, this next one, I actually have some questions. Maybe anybody else working on this pattern can chime in the comments and send me some suggestions or opinions. I don't know. Let me find it here. Okay. And this is the pattern I bought to help raise money for Sage with Night Spirit Studio when they were helping her out with her cancer diagnosis last year. It was stitching for Sage. So this is, I'll pop a picture in here. This is the bat skeleton. And I have the perfect frame for this. I mean, like, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. And I love this. So this is done on 40 count. It was slate from Under the Sea Fabrics. And then I dyed the crap out of it to make it black because I wanted high count black linen. So this is 40 count, the bat skeleton. Should probably do it over here if the picture's over there. And I used a little bit of the toile so you can get a little bit of the effect. I don't know if you can see it. So the line kind of shines. But here is, I had to frog a bunch of this too. I've had to frog a lot of this. This was one of these that I had started and boy, my counting was terrible. I was like, where am I? Here is my bone to pick, and I'm going to talk behind this so you can have, put the picture over here. The bone I have to pick is the called for the skeleton, the actual like rib cage and stuff. The bones is B 5200, which you know is like white. But I feel like it doesn't show as much. And that's why I kind of stopped it. Because if I went back and changed it with something, I didn't want to go any further. But is it just me? Or does anybody else that has worked on this feel like that? Like, I just feel like the white just blends so much with the lightest color, which I can't remember what it is, but give me your opinion. If you haven't worked on it, what do you think? If you have, what am I doing wrong? I don't know, but I love this and I want to finish it. And it's not like a long pattern and I have the most perfect frame for it. So that's my only qualm with it. Oh, and I'm doing this 1/1. I just feel like you can't see the white as much. Anyway, so there's that. That's Bat Skeleton, Night Spirit Studio, 40 count, 1/1. But I do love it. Beep. Okay. Put this over here. How's everybody doing? Okay, next is, because I love me some witches. This was a number of years ago, probably 3 or 4 years ago, maybe even a little bit longer. I had a picture that, because I don't know how to turn pictures into cross stitch. I now know people that could do that, but it's a black and white and gray, and I wanted to keep it that way. And so anyway, I had somebody turn it into a pattern. I have it now. And then I put it down for a long time. I can't remember exactly why I did, but I knew I would come back to it. Well, here we are, 2024. I've worked on the Contessa. I've worked on gridded fabric, because this is going to be another full coverage piece. Come here. Thank you so much. So sweet. It's going to be another full coverage, and I thought, okay, I'm just going to restart it and do it on gridded fabric because I love it. Hold on, I'm hitting the camera. Here's the best picture I have. I know I could insert one, but I actually have this hanging in my bedroom. I love, you know, I love Halloween. I love witches. Those of you that don't know, I mean, in the past I've done a lot of stage performing, and I finally got to play my dream role of the Wicked Witch of the West at one of our big theaters here in the city at Lyric Theater, and I loved it. Anyway, this is a picture of Margaret Hamilton as the Wicked Witch, the silhouette of her in this pose, and I love it. I love it, and I want to make it into a pattern, so I've currently started on that. Very little is done. I am starting in the corner of this one, but I mean, it's like nothing, but it's going to be all, you know, grays and dark browns and black, but that's all I have done of it so far. But you know, it's way up here in this corner, but I love it. Another witch. It's in my, did you hear that? That was my stomach. I need to eat something. All right, so my next few are witches. That's my Wicked Witch of the West. Oh, I didn't show you. Hold on. Rewind. My bat skeleton lives in this case that I made. This one has an attached thread bed. My creepy masks. Okay. All right, so I'll show you, I've got 2 witch projects in one case that I'll get to in a second. Well, no, I'll just show you now. This is my Tulip Pink. This is my larger size. I just debuted about a month ago, and I can get 2 8x10s in here, or 8x11s. So I've got my Wicked Witch of the West pattern in here, and then my next one. And my next one is a Nora Corbett that I started for Mira May, because I count it. And Jacinta, if you're watching, I think you asked that on your last video. I'm like, I'm counting it. Like, why not? So anyway, I started this, and I'm doing it as a mini with some color conversions and something a little bit different. Let me find this here. I'll put a picture up. This is, I believe you pronounce it Xenia or Xenia, Zenia, by Nora Corbett. It's one of her witches. She has a whole series. Her stuff is amazing, and this is a Mirabilia. Anyway, this I'm doing on 40 count frozen leaves by XGU Designs. And this stuff I've had for quite some time, because I was like, oh, you know, Wicked Witch. Let me get this on my little mat. So instead of the pinks and the magentas and stuff, I wanted to do green. The fabric I have is a very muted green, and then I wanted to do, somebody had actually posted it in one of the Mira groups, the color conversions, and shared that. So I'm doing her color conversion of greens for the dress, and this is what I have started. I'll put it over here. Is that a good look? Kind of. So this is Frozen Leaves, XGU Designs, 1/1. And I have the most perfect way to finish this when I finally get it done. It just kind of got dark outside, or at least I feel like my lighting's going. So yes, this is my other witch that I've got going. And even though I typically don't park a lot of my, or I don't park my non-full coverage, I'm parking some of these like for the shading, and that seems to really be helping me. And then in the pattern that I showed, it's got her like holding a martini glass. So I was like, I don't want to do the martini glass. I quit drinking a number of years ago, so I was like, I'm going to do something different. And I bought, this is a little part of my haul over the weekend. If I can find it. What did I do with it? Here it is. Instead of the martini glass in her hand, oh my god, this thing is tiny, so I don't want it to go flying. It is a Mill Hill glass treasure bead. It's so little. Don't look at my cuticles because I'm gonna have to get close here. Like, it's terrible. It's an itty bitty pumpkin. Can you see it? It's so cute. And it's gonna fit. I mean, I don't want it to like slide off, but it's gonna fit perfectly in her hand. So yeah, I was excited when I found that. I got that at the Silver Needle in Tulsa. I'll mention that again here at the end with my haul. So yes, clearly I got way behind, not gonna make it for Mira May, but we'll just keep working on it. All right, that one's gonna be small. When I'm done with that, it's gonna be like just a little under 3 inches by a little over 4. Basically about 3 by 4. Don't need that. Get to that in a second. Okay, so yes, this is the one I keep those witches in, because I've got another witch. Do you see a theme? Okay. The next one I have is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. Here we go. I started this on my birthday last year at a small town retreat in my state. I'd seen somebody finish it at a retreat last summer. And I mean, I probably had seen it online or whatever, but when I saw it in person, I was like, yes, that is something I will do. And it's going to take me forever. We all know that. Sorry, my camera's getting hit by the table. So yeah, I'll put a picture here of Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow by Carriage House Samplings. And it is a very big piece. I'm doing it on 40 count, 1/2. So it's still going to be a big piece. So it's a big piece. This is also on Graveyard Mist from Lappin Loops fabric. And she is the daughter of Becky, who is Lucy Beam, the designer Lucy Beam. Okay. Oh, this one I wanted to make at least halfway decent because it's been in a Q-snap for months. All right. Okay, so this is my Halloween. This is what I have so far. I started in the center. So here is what I've got done of the center block. Ooh, sorry. And I'm using all the called for I love the little spiders. They're so cute. And the moons and the stars in the dress. I mean, I love it all. But this is what I've got done so far. And it's going to take up almost this entire piece of fabric. And at the bottom, I'll be cutting it real close, but it will take up the majority of this fabric. I'll be cutting it real close at the bottom. May have to sew some fabric on it. So yeah, that's where I am right now. I haven't touched this one in a while. This was another one that was on that counting crap. I was crappily counting and was like, just needs a break. I just need a break. This one lives in my vintage Halloween case. And it does. I have another matching bobbin page because it calls for a lot of colors. A lot of colors. Okay, and then I only have one more WIP left. And this one is not Halloween. Right? You're shocked. My second most favorite holiday is Christmas. I do love Christmas. I do. And I went to, I'm going to prepare this while I'm kind of trying to talk to you. Is this going to fit on here? I may just have to like make it work. I'm going to try to talk and do this. Here in Oklahoma, we really have two now LNSs. One that is fairly recently started to carry cross stitch items, and they are actually closer to me than the other one, the Silver Needle, which has been around forever, which is in Tulsa. The other store is called Prairie Moon Primitives in Wayne, Oklahoma, and they're about an hour away from me, and Tulsa's about an hour and a half. So not too much of a difference, but Ginger at Prairie Moon is starting to carry more patterns and specialty flosses, and she went to her first needlework cross-stitch specific market this year. So anyway, I actually got this at the Silver Needle a couple of years ago, and I saw it and I was like, yes, I have the perfect plan for that. It's going to be beautiful, unlike anything I typically stitch on. So I got the pattern and went home to dye the fabric myself, because I was like, I have to have fabric. I don't want to wait for it. I don't know if I'm going to get it in enough time. And I mean, I've dyed some fabric before and was like, I'll just, I'll brew a batch and see what happens. So this is, get back to my, this is Falling Snow by Shannon Christine Designs. And it's just one of those I saw and was like, oh, that's absolutely stunning. I love it. I just saw it, and I don't think I would typically pick it, but I was like, I love it. I love the fabric color. Here's a photo. Teal, aquamarine, aqua, blue. That is like my, next to black, which is my favorite color. That is my next favorite color. I love it, and I know that the color of it is what popped out at me, and I was like, ooh, and then all of that white with the snow, and I was like, I have to do it. So anyway, I bought that pattern at the Silver Needle, got home, and like the next day I had some fabric and was like, I'm gonna start dyeing and over dyeing and see if I could figure out. So I haven't touched this in a while, and I'll tell you why in a second. So I'm gonna take that picture away, but this is what I have done so far. See if I can. And I And of course the color, like you can kind of see, but it's not really coming out as true teal is what it is, but kind of close. So because, you know, like I'm extra and I can't just do what's called for. What's called for is using beading. Not all of it is beaded, but it did have, you know, certain parts of the snow beaded. And it's not that I don't like beading. It takes me a while. And my OCD is that the beading is okay. The beading is pretty good. It's when I get it finished that if it is not perfect, when I get it back from the framer, like that's all I'm ever going to see. So this is the Halloween Fairy is the only thing I've ever beaded before. And I mean, dropping that off to get framed was, even though I know the people at the place I had it framed and I trust them, you just never know. So anyway, I decided against the beading. Pardon me. I was like, I'm not going to do the beading. And I think it'll really pop more against that fabric if I use B5200. It's just going to give that satiny kind of feel, which it's a really good idea because it does really kind of glisten, or, you know, the dimension of it is real pretty, but it's satin floss and it's satin floss. And I have to be in the right mood to do it, which is not all the time. But I have found using thread magic really helps. Like there's no way I could do this if I did not have thread magic, but it does really help. Also, instead of the beading, give me a second to get to the case it's in. Instead of the beading, I wanted to continue to do something a little bit different. I ended up with this fine, I think it's it's Krynic. It's very fine Krynic and metallic, like an iridescent, I don't know if you can see, like an iridescent, there it is, you can kind of see it, glitter. So it's just enough to kind of glisten at the right angle and stuff. So where the beads were, I've been doing those parts in, and I don't know if you can see, I'm going to try to angle. You probably cannot, but anyway, in person you can see it. So where the beads are, I'm using this very fine Krynic. And instead of, because it also called, like where you see the gold parts, it called for gold beads, and I was like, me, I'm not doing that either. I just don't want to bead. I don't want to bead. I'm using this other over-dyed Krynic. It's Krynic Fine number 4 braid over-dyed from Threadworks, and it is amazing. It is. Ooh, I mean, it just shines, and it is just like, you wouldn't think it's like butter, but it is. It's beautiful, and I'm only using one thread of it. Let me see if I can get to a part where it, I mean, it just sparkles. So I highly recommend it. It's, oh, that's what it is. And I got it in, a threading package for a pattern that I got at a retreat last summer. And when I started this, I was like, I bet this would be great for the gold beads, and it is, and I love it. And it is stunning. It's just white, and it's satin white, and it takes a while, and it's going to take me a while. I'm not too far away, but I love it. It's going to be beautiful. I can already see how I want to have it finished. And yeah. So there's falling snow. And I keep this one. The only things that I have, like, because I typically use bobbins. I'm a bobbin person. A lot of my cases I make and use are for bobbins, but not everything. So this one is in this case with that zipper pocket. In case you've never seen, I've got a pocket back there, my pattern and zipper pocket, but put all of my specialty stuff in the big pocket. There's my stomach again. Wow. What are we gonna eat today, guys? Oh, they're sharing a bed. They missed each other. Oh. Okay, so there is that. So those are my current WIPs that I get out on and off over time. I don't currently participate in like WIP Go or that stuff. I probably should. I do like what Crafting Jamie does, or other people that do like the spin. It's like I might incorporate that, but I don't know. I know there's a more organized way to do it, but my brain does not always work that way. Let me see. Where am I? Let's see. I've done my FFO, done my new start. Oh, no, I'm going to get to my new start because it comes into my haul. I'll do my haul. So at the retreat this weekend, which was in Tulsa, which is very local to the Silver Needle in Tulsa. It was about maybe 10 minutes from the hotel. So it was super close. And side note, the Silver Needle, a lot of their workers and like the owner and some other stitchers were out of town this week. They do a stitching cruise, and they were in like, oh my God, like Switzerland, or I mean, it was like European or something. So anyway, not a lot of stitchers from the Silver Needle were there, but they had some workers and they were open. Yay. So anyway, we got to go over there, and we also got a $20 coupon to use towards any of the sale items. They had this back section in the store which was 50% off. So we had a $20 coupon for anything in the 50% off section. And if you've never been to the Silver Needle, it's a huge store. There's lots of stuff in there. They might have what you're looking for. They might not. I was looking for a particular pattern. They didn't have it in stock. I found that just a little bit shocking because it was a new market release. But anyway, lots of real pretty things to look at. Lots of pretty things. So anyway, so here is what I got at the Silver Needle when we had a little bit of a break. I got that little pumpkin bead. I'm like, don't lose that. I got that. And I got, there's another one around here. I just got 2 things of DMC that I needed. It's over there. Okay. And because I just see everybody else doing it, and there was an actual copy, which I typically do PDF, but maybe I had FOMO, and it's so cute. And I do love the Beatles, but I did pick up the Blackbird Designs Yellow Submarine pattern. It's just so cute. And if you didn't know, I know some people watch this that are my friends or family that don't know anything about cross stitch, but they have a series called the Magical Mystery Tour that does several of the Beatles patterns with a motif. There's like Eleanor Rigby and Strawberry Fields Forever, but anyway, I just love the Yellow Submarine. So I bought that pattern. And then I bought, I'm going to take this out of the plastic so it doesn't glare. This is by Cottage Garden Samplings, and I love their stuff. I've done a couple of their patterns, and they had the model in the shop, and the model was 1,000 times. I just had to see it in person. It was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous. And I was like, I want that. So this is Trick or Treat by College Garden Samplings. And something that I loved about this was like the gourd and, you know, this pumpkin and some of the other things, how they're kind of turned. So they're a little bit like the dimension is a little bit 3D. It's just like not a flat front, like facing front. And I loved it. And the fabric that was used for this and that the sample was sewn on, it was, hold on, let me see it. 40 count Cyperium by Picture This Plus. And it's not as like dark as that it's looking on this. It's a little bit more, I don't want to say like green, but kind of like swampy green. I don't know, but it was stitched up. It was awesome. Like all of these webs in between. So anyway, got Trick or Treat, Cottage Garden Samplings. Oh, there's that other skein. One, two, three. Okay, the next stuff that I got was practically free because of the coupon that we had. So this is awesome. Leading me into what my start was over the weekend. I just saw this and I don't know, it called out to me and it was more of like a simple pattern, but this is, it's called God Bless Those, and it says, God bless those who struggle to be free by the Shakespeare's Peddler. And it's my automatic air freshener you might hear in the background. It's done on, you had a choice, because I had several of them in the 50% off. You had a choice of either 40 or 32 count vintage exemplar by Lakeside Linens. And in the kit, so this was free, the pattern, the fabric, and the limited edition floss. So it came with, and I've already like, because I bought it, I know, don't come at me. But it's variegated. This is called Christmas Spice. And then these are Gentle Art. These are called Shining Star and Marsh Brown. So those three floss, the fabric, and the pattern, free with our retreat coupon. So I started that, and this is where I am. So this is 40 count. Let me get my needle minder out of the way. That's how far I've gotten. Super cute. Oh, and I did get these. Sorry, back to the Trick or Treat. I didn't have 2 of the weeks for that pattern that it called for. So this is Persimmon and Charcoal by Weeks. Ah! Very pretty. These I paid for. Okay, so the next 2 patterns were practically free. Let me take this out. Not be too annoying about it. And this, sorry, is like 3 small patterns. So like 3 little small patterns. This is Time for Halloween by Brenda Gervais. Or Gervais. I always get Ricky and Brenda, like, you get it though. This was a pattern for 3 spooktacular Halloween fobs. Time for Halloween. And it's got a jack-o'-lantern, a witch, and a kitty cat with a black hat on. Get all 3 in there. Yeah. Cute. Okay, I'll put that back in a minute. And then this one was free as well. This is La-Di-Da, a pocket for potions. And you could even make some of these little sayings into pillows, or like star pillows, or like one piece. Is my stomach growling again? How unprofessional is that? Isn't that cute? So yeah. So that was my haul from the Silver Needle. And then I wasn't a paid attendee for the retreat because I was vending, but several people were very kind and they brought around some little Stitchy kindness things for me, and I wanted to show those because that was very nice of them. They did not have to do that. I mean, I had some downtime to sew, but you know, when you're vending, you're either like physically busy or, you know, your brain's like still going. Let me see. So one of the other vendors, her name is Vanessa, and she, I've asked her earlier, but she hasn't responded back, and I'll find out before I post this stuff. And if she does have a Facebook page or somewhere where you can contact her, I will provide that below. But her name is Vanessa, and she's from Texas, and she owns Nessa's Needle Minders. And I met her last October at a retreat in Texas, and we each bought some stuff from one another. And then I saw her again at a retreat, another retreat in Texas, and we sat together. Anyway, very kind woman, so nice, so supportive, great woman. And she just has so many like trinket and small things, just really cool stuff. And it's not like stitching related, but kind of, because it's a frog, but it's super cool. And she gave me one of these, and I'm very like sensory, like touching things, talking with my hands. She gave me this 3D printed frog. And it changes colors. I mean, it's different colors depending on like how you turn it. It's got like, you know, articulated legs. Oh my gosh, I just love it. I would sit there and play with it. So this was a Stitchy kindness. And she's so nice. She gave me several things. So this is my little frog. That was from Vanessa. And she also gave me a crow needle minder. She knows I love crows. And also, this was super nice. Like, so nice. I wonder if I can open this under the table because it's crinkly. But when she first got to the retreat to unload on our day when we loaded in our stuff, just don't listen to this. Well, I'll show you through. She knows I have a black cat, but she bought me this black cat, like lunar phase, it's a shelf that you hang on the wall. It's got little shelf panels back here that you put in the holes. But a cat shelf. That's so sweet of her. So I was like, it's Salem. Just not as pushy. That's so kind. So I can't wait to hang it in here. Maybe I'll put it, and I gotta put it somewhere where Salem can't get to it. It's so nice of her. She's so sweet. She's so sweet. If you ever go to a retreat that she is vending at, lots of goodies and just a super kind woman. And she, sometimes she will bring her sons with her and they'll help her out. And they're the kindest boys. They're very nice. All right. Oh, and then I did also buy one of her needle minders. I got this Ouija board. I sell some different Ouija boards, but I bought this one from her. And the Ouija board planchette moves. So I thought that was cool. So I bought that from her. And the two girls that I met this weekend, Brianna and Ashlyn that live in Fairview, they brought me over a scissor fob. It's got a little rain. I love it. I love rain. I love stormy weather. And a bee bracelet, a little rubber bracelet. And then this beautiful bee needle minder. Pretty. And there's her Instagram handle. And here's Ashlyn's. They're very good friends. So thank you, ladies. It was so sweet. Oh, and I didn't bring it in here, but they also made doggy treats. If you had animals, they came around and brought doggy treats to give to your fur babies if you had any. And I have yet to give them to the fur babies, but I'm sure they will love them. All right, that was from them. And then Jacinta, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Jacinta. Correct me if I'm wrong. She made, it's totally up my alley. And here is her information. She loves moths, so she made a moth needle minder. Come on, focus. Very cute. And a little fabric holder. Put your orts or whatever in there. Very nice of her. So thank you, ladies. That was so sweet. You did not have to do that for me. But you did, and I appreciate it. So, oh my gosh, I feel like this is like really truly my first Flosstube video for my stuff that I work on. I mean, it is. Yeah, it's been fun. Let's see. What are my plans? My plan is to sew this summer. My summer schedule is not as crazy as like my normal schedule for my job, so I've got a little bit more time. And some of the plans that I have, though, I am vending at a few events this summer down in Texas, if you happen to be down there. I'll tell you what those are. On Thursday, June 13th, I think, and I can't look it up on my phone, but it's like whatever day the Thursday before the week of the 20th is. Anyway, I will be vending at the Embroidery Guild of America, the South Central region, because there are many different regions to the EGA, at their merchandise night in San Marcos, Texas. So I'll be taking a bunch of my my stuff. I'll be sewing my rear end off and making orders that were placed over this weekend and making lots of product for the next few retreats. But I will be there. I do believe it is the 13th, whatever that Thursday is. So I will be there. And then the following week, I will head to San Antonio, Texas to go vend at the Under the Sea Fabrics Stitching Sirens retreat. That is, I think I said it was in San Antonio. That is a big retreat. I went to their smaller one back in January, but they say, this is the first time I've gone to this certain retreat, but they say it is much bigger. And their theme is Witchy Garden or something along those lines. And if you're in the San Antonio area or are looking for a retreat to go to, I don't know if they're full, but you can look up, I'll put their information below, the Under the Sea Fabrics Stitching Sirens retreat. They also have a Facebook page you can go find. So that will be in June. And then in July, I am going to go to Sugar Land, Texas. I just made that decision this weekend. The next Stitching Bee retreat, like the one in Tulsa, will be in Sugar Land, Texas, July 13th, 14th, and 15th, I believe. If that is wrong, I will fix it in the description below. You can still register for that retreat. I think there are openings, but I think the registration is over 100 already, but look into that. Highly recommend them. Very good people, lots of fun. So I will be vending at that retreat. And that's all I'm going to do. Like, I've got some other stuff coming up late summer, fall, but I'll wait and mention those in a video in the future. But so yeah, I've got a lot of sewing, whether it's machine sewing or hand sewing, that I'll be doing this summer. So anyway, thank you so much for spending this time with me. I truly appreciate it. And if you are a spooky Halloween stitcher, and especially if I mentioned you and you do the same thing, I hope that we can connect and continue to enable each other with all of our spooky stitching. If you're not a spooky stitcher, that doesn't mean anything. I love to watch all kinds of stitching. I learn things from all kinds of stitchers. But thank you so much for watching. Please, again, subscribe and hit like and share with your other friends. And let me see if I'm forgetting anything. I'm looking over my list one last time. I think that's it. So until next time, I hope you guys have a safe and relaxing and fun summer. Bye.